Hey Commander players, it's QLeth here. Today I wanted to talk to you about a new deck I wanted to build. Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. I call this deck Counter, Not Counter. Before I go into this build, I am going to tell you now this deck really brings the salt. So if you are easily triggered by blue shenanigans, turn back now. Now, Lier, Disciple of the Drowned is a 3/4 human wizard and costs 3 blue. Lier reads, spells can't be countered, and each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. The idea for this deck came about because of Lier's first ability. Spells can't be countered. I wanted a way to abuse that ability. Now, my first idea was to add Venser, Shaper, Savant. Many of you are familiar with Venser. He is a 2/2 human wizard and costs 2 blue. And Venser reads Flash and has Flash and reads Venser, Shaper, Savant comes into play. Return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. So with Venser's ability, we can effectively counter a spell without actually playing a counter spell. Next, I remembered Mindbreak Trap. Mindbreak Trap is a blue instant and costs 2 blue. It reads, if an opponent casts 3 or more spells this turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay Mindbreak Trap's mana cost. Exile any number of spells. Yet another way to remove a spell of the stack, preventing it from resolving. After that, I went on Gather and did a search in the color blue with the text target spell as an exact match and found other spells that could manipulate spells on the stack without countering them. I found Divide by Zero, which is a blue instant, costs 2 and a blue. It reads, return target spell or permanent with mana value 1 or greater to its owner's hand. It also has the Learn ability. I also added Redirect, which can turn a spell with the target to a different target, essentially countering the spell. Ashyaksha Register is a blue enchantment, costs 2 blue. It also has Flash and reads, when Ashyaksha Register enters the battlefield, exile target spell. Your opponents can't cast spells with the same name as the exiled card, and when an Ashyaksha Register leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. Time Stop is a blue instant and costs 4 and blue. It reads, end the turn. End the turn effectively means remove all spells and abilities from the stack. The player whose turn it is discards down to their maximum hand size. Damage wears off this turn, and until end of turn effects end. So Commandeer is a blue instant and costs 5 blue. Commandeer reads, you may remove 2 blue cards in your hand from the game rather than pay Commandeer's mana cost. Gain control of target non-creature spell. You may choose new targets for it. So that effectively can, remove, counter some spells, but also give you the ability to steal somebody else's non-creature spell and maybe cast it on your own side, including planeswalkers and the like. Now, after reading the mana cost of the spells, I was going to win with the commander. I realized that the deck would have a rather high mana curve, so I included a lot of mana rocks, 9 to be exact. Those include Soul Ring, Thought Vessel, Arcane Signet, Sky Diamond, Liquid Metal Torque, Overflowing Chalice, Sisay's Ring, Dreamstone Hedron, and Coalition Relic. So being in blue, I wanted to include lots of card draw. Included in the main card draw package is Brainstorm, Preordain, Opt, Ponder, Windfall, Rhystic Study, Jace's Ingenuity, Mental Journey, Sudden Insight, Recurring Insight, Diviner's Portent, and Blue Sun Zenith. Creatures include Vidalcan Aethermage, Deranged Assistant, Wavebreak Hippocamp, Champion of Wits, Laboratory Drudge, Phyrexian Metamorph, and the previously mentioned Venser, Shaper, Savant, Teferi, Mage of Zhalfir, Deep Glow Skate, River Kelpie, and Deadeye Navigator. Now, there are other cards that are mostly one-of effects and don't fit in any other category. So, Pongify, Rapid Hybridization, Mystical Tutor, Personal Tutor, Cyclonic Rift, Resculpt, Reality Shift, Dress Down, Stolen by Fae, Propaganda, Washout, Serpentine Curve, Evacuation, Replication Technique, Inexorable Tithe, Supplement Form, and Wizard Spellbook. Now, my win conditions in this deck are cards that will obviously take you to the win. Those include Thassa's Oracle, Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, Teferi, Master of Time, Jace, Memory Ada, Time Stretch, and Rise from the Tides. The mana base for this deck is really simple. It includes 31 islands or snow-covered islands, depending on your preference, and Myriad Landscape, Reliquary Tower, Riptide Laboratory, Seat of Synod, Temple of the False Gods, Thawing Glaciers, and Tolaria West. Alright, so how this deck works is basically just hunkering down, playing mana ramp, and draw effects until you get a decent sized mana base, at which time you'll draw a bunch of cards and eventually come up with a win condition. You can always draw out your whole deck and win with Thassa's Oracle or Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. You can give your sorceries flash with Teferi, Mage of Zalfir, and cast Rise of the Tides on your opponent's end step twice if possible, and then on your turn overload Cyclonic Rift and swing with loads of 2/2 zombie tokens and an empty board state. You can take infinite turns with Teferi, Master of Time, and when combined with Deep Skill Gate and Deadeye Navigator still bonded together, double out the amount of loyalty counters over and over again and never run out of loyalty. You can force your opponents to draw out with Jace, Memory Adapt, and Windfall combined together, with multiple casts of Windfall, obviously. In summary, this deck is basically a mid-range deck that spends most of the early game drawing cards, playing mana rocks, in order to get enough mana to go off with either the draw out or the Rise of Tides win. Thanks again for watching QLS Bag of Decks, where you can tell your friends to eat a bag of decks.